Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the video. Today I have some exciting news, hopefully a new series that we're going to start. It's not going to be daily, it'll just be sporadic, and it's going to be called Lane Change, because I can't think of a more creative title, and it's basically asking what if popular culture characters raced in NASCAR. And today we're going to be starting with Star Wars, and more specifically the Star Wars prequels, because I love Star Wars, and I love more specifically the Star Wars prequels. I think they're phenomenal. So it's going to be all about the Star Wars characters. I put together paint schemes, and we're going to talk about what they would accomplish and how they would accomplish it. It's going to be more of a satirical, funny video than an actual serious video, so if you're not into, that kind of stuff, click off. Feel free to click off, but I think that this should be, some good times. Hopefully it'll be at least amusing. But yeah, we'll get into the stuff here. Like and subscribe for more, and let me know down in the comments what you would like to see for other things. Maybe Marvel. I'm thinking probably Star Wars Part 2 if this video does well. But yeah, we'll get into the examples here. So our first driver is Obi-Wan Kenobi. As you can see, I did his car how I thought it would be, kind of mute colors, mostly browns and gray. And he's sponsored by not a flashy brand, but by Shriners Hospital for Children, because when you get down to it, that's basically what Padawans are. So, you won't see Anakin repping the Children's Hospital brand. Children need to go to the hospital after they meet with Anakin, but here's the paint scheme that we put together for Kenobi. Now we'll get into his achievements here. So Kenobi is a consistent finisher. He's very balanced in the ways of NASCAR. He is known to take the high line once or two times, because Obi-Wan loves that high ground, and it has worked out for him in the past. He hasn't done anything ridiculously spectacular in his career, but he's always a consistent finisher, always a top 5 or 10 finish, rarely wrecks. You can bet on Kenobi. He's a pretty solid finisher, always consistently contesting for wins. Again, the high ground is very important to Kenobi. He actually won 2 championships at Homestead, Miami. I refuse to have it at Phoenix. He won 2 championships at Homestead, Miami, just by solely taking the high ground. That's all he had to do, and he would just wheel it around the corners. He rarely wrecks, like I said, and yeah, so I'd give him 2 championships and only about 8 wins. Mostly he just kind of sits back around 2nd or 3rd or 4th and just kind of vibes. He's never near the back, and he's never really in victory lane. He's a consistent week in, week out finisher, and that exemplifies Obi-Wan Kenobi. Next up we have the chosen one, Anakin. And it's black like his soul. But he's got the Hooters sponsorship, because full well that Anakin is the horniest man of all time. Absolute simp. But gotta do what you gotta do for the Padme, for the PP, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, let's take a look at his accomplishments here. Now, Anakin is a controversial figure in NASCAR. He reminds people somewhat of the Intimidator, Dale Earnhardt, as he gets the job done every single time, and he gets it done a little bit rough. He doesn't always play by the rules. He's been known to dump a few people to get some wins. He bumps cars around a lot. He just generally drives fairly aggressively, not ridiculously aggressively, but he's aggressive. He's out there to win, and that becomes very, very apparent. He is one of the greatest NASCAR drivers of all time. He's been known around the galaxy to be an excellent pod racer, even from a child, and he graduated up into the NASCAR Cup Series and won a record-setting 8 championships, all back to back to back to back to back to back. And over the course of his career, he became more and more aggressive and more hungry for power and hungry to win races, which he did. He actually ended up winning 96 races over the course of his career, completely dominant over NASCAR until suddenly after he won his 8th championship, he just dropped off the scene. Some would say it was almost like he fell into a deep, deep hole. Some others would call it a tragedy. Now, there was a part in his career about 4 years in when his longtime teammate and best friend, Obi-Wan Kenobi, had a very, very deep battle, some would say, over his longtime fabled lover, Padme Amidala, and we will get to her, but after that point in time, he almost snapped and became very, very aggressive on and off the track, and it kind of drove him to new heights and drove him to be one of the greatest drivers in all of the galaxy. Some would say that he brought peace, freedom, justice, and security to the Skywalker racing empire. Kenobi. So next up we have Darth Maul, obviously. He doesn't have any sponsors because he doesn't need to make money illegally. He steals money. He runs a crime syndicate. He doesn't even care. And look at his car, just absolutely baller. He's got the kind of crazy looking, rage looking, red and black car of champions here. Tell me this doesn't look like something Darth Maul would drive. You can't, because he would. Darth Maul unfortunately goes down in NASCAR history as somewhat of a sad tale. He's one of the most notorious figures in all of NASCAR history. He didn't have many wins, he didn't have any championships, and he didn't care about wins, and he didn't care about championships. He had dedicated rivalries, and he would do every single thing in his power to beat that rival week in, week out, no matter what he had to do. If you started in front of him, great, he would just run. He'd get away, and he would just get away. He actually finished with a couple wins, not many, but maybe 2. Maybe I'll give him 3. But he was known to week in and week out be in these fierce rivalries. And he would do whatever he had to do. He would dump people. He would just run. He would create massive crashes. And that's why he goes down in history as one of the biggest disappointments, I would say, of NASCAR history. He was known to let the anger get the best of him. Sort of like old Brad Keselowski, except way, way, way more extreme. One time, actually, he got into a small rivalry with Quinn Hoff, and then after the race, Quinn Hoff was found in his garage with a red lightsaber through his chest. Like, he was not messing around. Darth Maul was here to play, and so that's what he accomplished in NASCAR. He's one of the more sad figures in all of NASCAR history. Next up, we have our queen, but actually Senator Padme Amidala. She is perfect. She could kick me in the nuts, and I would apologize. Like, I would simp for Padme, I'm not gonna lie. But here's her car, nationwide, because she's in the government. I couldn't really think of one, so I guess that was the most clever I came. So this is the car I could see Padme running, pretty white, because she's good. Like, it represents the light. Haha, nice metaphor in your stupid Star Wars video. Awesome. Now, some would think that Padme is a clean driver, which you could say she is. She's a very clean driver. She's generally very, swift and decisive in her negotiations. However, she doesn't mess around. She's an absolute queen, strong, independent woman. Padme, just the absolute GOAT. Honestly, she's such a baller. I sim so hard for Padme. Like, I would, if I was Anakin and she died, I would turn to the dark side too. I'm not gonna lie. Padme is our queen, and I bet she'd be great at NASCAR because she works hard, and I bet she could get the hang of it. So I'm gonna give her 3 championships, and we'll give her 27 wins. We'll say 27 wins for Padme. Absolute queen right there. Honestly, like I said, she could just beat the crap out of me, and I would apologize. I would thank her for that, because Padme deserves all the love in the world. And yeah, the fact that Anakin turned to the dark side for her, that says something. I'm not gonna lie. Well, I think we should all adopt that feeling towards Padme. And our final entrant into part 1 is going to be the leader of the 501st, straight out of Camino. It is going to be Captain Rex. Now, as you can see, his car is crafted with excellent craftsmanship. Basically a mirror clone of every single other Camry. Oh, that's a bad pun right there. He's sponsored by Off-Axis Paint because he has some sweet paint designs. He's blue and white. As you can see, the color scheme fits pretty good there. And yeah, that is Captain Rex's paint scheme right there. Now Rex, he's a consistent performer, like Obi-Wan almost. He week in and week out does well. He's a more second driver type driver there. He makes some mistakes like you just saw in that clip right there, but he's a second driver more. I would say he's the Cal Naughton Jr. to, Obi-Wan's Ricky Bobby, and Anakin's Ricky Bobby, and Ahsoka's Ricky Bobby Part 2, I think, yes. He's a support driver. He has a ton of second place finishes. He is the most leading runner-up driver in all of NASCAR history, which says some things. Take that as you will. He has no championships. He makes it to the round of 4 just about every single year, but he never can finish the job. If you get it, yeah. I'm just gonna leave that there. You can't finish the job. We'll just leave that one there. You can do with that what you will. But so that's my thoughts there on Captain Rex. And yeah, so that is episode 1 right there of NASCAR Changing Lanes. I believe that's what I called it. I can't even remember. Something stupid. But that's episode 1. Hopefully we can get some more episodes, because I thoroughly enjoy making this video. This was a great video to make. It was a super fun time. It took a little bit of work to put together all the paint schemes and stuff, but it was awesome. So thank you guys so much for giving me the opportunity to do this. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hopefully liking and subscribing. I hope you're having a blessed and safe day. God be with you always. And I will see you guys next time.